Welcome everybody to another episode of the Chronicles review with the LessThanStealthyNinjas and special guest Planet Niko. Here on your list to my right, myself, Cosmic Boss. And so we just got out of Morbius and we have some thoughts.
Are we gonna have spoilers in this?
I don't even think it matters.
Like,
Stop it!
Look, hey, we will try to be as spoiler free as possible.
We may have a couple spoilers.
But from my view, long story short, this movie was trash.
Move your hand.
This was trash.
I did not think it was trash, though I was confused at the end. I did not think it was trash. Okay? I did not.
Shit trash, man.
Like, I to give you an idea of how bad I think this movie was, I don't know if I've seen a worse superhero movie since the first Suicide Squad. Like, I truly don't. There was so much wrong with this one. Mainly the writing. Secondly, the CGI. The faces.
I thought the faces were cool.
When they went vampiric.
Their noses got really tiny, and I thought that was cool.
The vampires in the first Blade looked a lot better.
First Blade.
However you feel about Blade.
At the bottom of the list of all things. Bottom. I said what I fucking said.
However you feel about Blade. It was horrible. I will say this. What carried the movie, and probably the only bright spot, was Matt Smith's Milo or Lucian.
That's his favorite doctor, so take that with a grain of salt.
Like, yeah, you can take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
We are Doctor Who fans, not him.
I'm a
But
Doctor
we
Who
are
fan.
Doctor Who
I
fans.
don't have nothing bad to say. I know
We are Doctor Who fans.
Yes.
Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, is my favorite Doctor. Hers is Tennant, the 10th. So
which one's the woman?
13.
She doesn't matter.
But
We going for it.
But anyway, it is just, the story is,
It's
Don't
fragile.
make no damn sense.
It was a very fragile story. I will say that. I was like, wait, what?
It is eggshells is what that story
It's
is.
very fragile. Like newborn neck fragile. You know? Like fragile.
It is tender. Like baby deer meat. It is tender.
Bambi.
They don't explain anything.
Nothing.
They don't.
Nothing.
They don't.
You got to figure it all out.
Yeah, because I thought the first scene was going to, when it's like, okay, 25 years earlier, I thought there was going to be some type of connection.
You thought there was going to be a bridge.
Right. And I was like, so y'all just showed us that for fun?
Here's the thing. If you've seen the trailer, you know when the bats come out the cave and he's holding up his hand after he cut it. We were all probably thinking this is where he gets his powers.
Right.
No.
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 And we're like,
No.
And it doesn't say anything of what happened after he held his hand up in the bat's cave. Like, there's no, like, okay.
Why did he do it?
Right.
Right.
Like,
Why did he? Right. In the beginning, he said, set up the trap at the mouth of the cave. Okay, you see them set it up, and it's a metal frame with piano strings in the middle.
Right, and it's like, okay, so you think, okay, maybe the bats are gonna fly into a bag. Those bats flew right past that shit. So how
The
did
bats flew right around
He
him.
just happened to have a tank of bags.
They just flew out the cave, and next thing you know, after the history lesson we got from his childhood, the bats are in a tube in New York.
And I'm wondering, like, okay, do you remember on World War Z? Remember the little boy that looked like us, that he didn't go Super Saiyan? What's the bald one? What's the bald one on Dragon Ball Z? The bald
Krillin.
Okay. Remember the boy that was walking right there that was bald, and remember the zombies went around him?
Yeah, the
I was like,
patient.
so like, did the bats go around him because he was sick? Like they didn't attack him, but they were talking about the bats eat people.
I didn't know where you were going, but I do see it now. So,
It was like,
the bats was like, oh no, that blood's sick.
Yeah.
No,
we can smell that now.
Now, if you listen, like, okay, so wait, real quick, the beginning, I think they were trying to show you, because there's a scene where Lucian had enough. He got a love letter from his best friend, and he was like, he dropped it out the damn window. What did it blow away?
It blew out the window.
It didn't blow away. It sucked out of the only open window.
The Greek air pulled this letter out the window
like a hurricane.
And he was sitting 2 to 3 feet inside. And it was just like, what is happening?
Whirlwind came.
And then he somehow, in his cane and his strider legs, this is what we were calling
the dark crystal. That's what he said.
You remember the Striders
when he was running like the Striders.
When he was running towards that little girl, looked exactly like the motion of the dark crystal. But I digress. He somehow made it outside
quickly
from a 4-story building.
Yeah, with his polio legs.
Already been.
Like to where that letter supposedly landed. When if the wind was blowing that strong, that letter was halfway across the ocean.
And he would have got knocked down too, because he had very fragile legs. His bones are nothing. What was your point?
My point was, I guess if you take anything from it, because again, it was like very, I don't even know if it was surface level damn storytelling. He has the temper. They show you his dark side real quick, because he put somebody in a coma. He did nap.
That shit was funny.
That was funny. Like he was getting picked on, and the big one pushed him. He swung that crutch.
That's the way I swung my crutch.
Connected
when
the
I
jaw.
had broke my foot. That's why I was swinging my crutch, and people like, "Fuck y'all."
That boy was out.
He was asleep.
25 years later, he's still there.
He don't know.
He done grew and aged on that ground. Because he did not get up at all.
He's still holding the letter.
That was a reflex. His hand was like this. Like, no.
That's the only takeaway I got from the beginning.
I mean, I guess. I just thought that was just building relationships, like now we know who Milo is, which I don't know if I could be your best friend if you call me somebody else's name for all time.
And
like,
then and then he said like, "Oh, you were just like the one before that." And I don't remember the one before that, and the one before that. We don't even remember Milo Prime. It's like, what the fuck?
Right? Am I a rat? Fuck
like,
you.
Cool.
Right? It's like you can call me that for all of our
Everybody
life.
calls him that too.
And I have a question.
How
did Milo get his money?
That's another good thing. That is another good thing.
Because
Because this boy, like Michael, was an orphan.
Yeah.
Was dying all his life from this disease that has no cure.
Polio. Super polio.
That affects the blood. Blolio. There we go.
But not the dexterity of your hands, just your legs.
Right.
Yes.
He's strong as hell, man.
And it never went into what he does. But he's living in New York in a high rise.
Yes.
And when Michael went to visit him, he had got stopped at the door by what we assume is a Zangief clone.
Right.
And he was talking Russian to him, and the subtitle said, "I'm here to see your boss." And he talked reckless.
So maybe he was a mob boss?
He might be.
But they wouldn't go into nothing about how he got his money or how he got this power to get a shipping container boat.
Right, with a submarine bottom.
And had a lab set up in it.
Right.
Like,
but
nothing.
But the thing was, he had security at the door, but him and Michael went on a walk by themselves.
Yeah.
Unguarded.
No. Let's not gloss over that. He said, let's go for a walk like they can do this normal.
Right.
Them boys was hobbling like old penguins.
All the people behind
down the street.
Hey, no, I'm gonna be late there, man.
Right, move shit.
Michael down here walking again.
If you go see this movie, watch for this part when they're walking towards the camera on New York City. There's gonna be a black woman with a pixie cut behind them who has the most annoyed look.
Yeah, she like, and the black woman with the light skin with the curly hair. she was looking like, yeah, can I go around them?
Right. She must have not known she was in a movie,
right?
Because she looked real annoyed.
Man, look, or she's trying to start something else. Cause she's like, I got this, like. But there were a lot of plot holes.
Extremely.
I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was not explained.
Fall through them plot holes, man.
Like a sinkhole.
Like when we say they didn't explain nothing, the only power they explained was his increased speed in super strength, we'll say, and his echolocation.
Yeah.
And
but he learned to fly because he nearly fell off a building, and then he heard a subway train coming. And he jumped in front.
And I was like, and you know what I told him? I was like, that's what we do on GTA. You know, the pull behind the car?
The drag.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it is. Like, but I mean, I guess he used his science brain.
That's okay. So, and I don't want to jump the gun, but if he had science brain, one of the biggest things that annoyed the hell out of me, two things. Obviously, one, y'all know that there's, Milo gets his powers. All right, they don't show that.
No.
Morbius took this thing to the spine. Yeah. Who the hell put it? Who
put it in his spine?
Yes, who gave? Yes. See, that was another thing.
When did it happen?
When Morbius took the dose of the serum he concocted from this bat.
It was like an epidural.
He had to get it out there. Like the doctor that was helping him had to work whichever way down. I don't know which spinal part that was. In the middle of the
and the needle was like,
and the needle was long. And she had to get it in there, and he felt it. All of a sudden, when Milo went to go visit him, and he had locked himself in that tiny cage room,
see him wobble over there and steal because they didn't show.
And he showed him walk over there, got the blood to go help him. And then all of a sudden, he didn't hear this man come back and get this serum.
Right.
Like he could hear, like at that point, he had learned the bat hearing.
Right.
So he could hear shit across the city, but he didn't hear this man sneak in there, hobble, drag his ankle across the ground, and get this serum.
But wait, I have a question too. So when Michael's ears went yucky,
that was nasty.
And it was like
hairs.
It had the echolocation. So I noticed that Milo could. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right,
when they were in the subway, he could go.
When he could force push like a Jedi.
Right. And that was the other thing. Right. So that's the other thing. Why? How did he learn his stuff?
Right.
And why the hell was he giving Morbius the business when he was a vampire first? And he's a damn scientist.
Oh, probably because he only drinks synthetic blood. In every vampire movie, if you drink rabbit blood, you suck. Yeah. But if you drink human blood, and Milo was drinking human blood, like
he was on that shit.
Not on no alarm clock. He was just like
get that shit right. Get that shit out of here.
I don't want no blue and hang blood over here, partner.
But I don't know if that was his special power or.
That was another thing. They just kept referring to the blood as red versus blue, like this was some early rooster shit. Like,
I mean, I don't know much about synthetic blood.
And it ain't real.
But I mean, like, here's the thing: the blue blood is that android blood?
It looked like yogurt. It looked like yogurt.
I thought it looked like the android. When they bleed and Bishop.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay. How does that work? He was drinking it like,
and that was
they couldn't show him drinking blood too. That was the other weird thing about the movie. They weren't allowed to show him drinking blood.
How you have
a vampire movie,
right? It's like, oh, they have holes in their neck. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
because I didn't see it really drink everybody on the boat.
No, they weren't allowed to show him drinking because it's PG-13.
Is that why some of the blood wasn't red?
Yeah.
What is it, the Mortal Kombat? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
And here's another thing. This movie, like when I say Suicide Squad, like you can remember the beginning of that movie when they were introducing everybody at the prison. You remember the end when that belly dancing chick was getting the business done to her, and the big skeletal man came out. I forget what his name was.
Him the big skeletal man.
But you don't remember the middle. You don't remember the middle.
You don't remember nothing about the character.
You don't remember the middle. This movie just blended every damn thing together.
Yeah, you're like,
to where the final fight, if you could call it that, Because they were in New York City, we want to say.
Yeah, down in the tunnels.
I didn't know, and I whispered this to her in the theater. So New York has a rat and a bat problem.
Yeah, I mean, like, so he called upon his blood.
Because he called the bats from the subway, and there were more bats in the subway
than it was in that fucking
than there was in the cave.
Costa Rica. Shit.
Yeah. He brought all the bats to Costa Rica, New York.
So was he using his echolocation now in his finger?
Right. And for some reason, a super strong vampire was being held down by a bunch of bats.
Regular
and he had his javelin ready.
Not super bats.
Why he didn't release the javelin?
I guess he wanted to just like stab down.
And so y'all like him. Y'all liked his character, and his character wasn't bad. But maybe it's because it's a Sony thing, man. Sony gonna Sony. I was getting Spider-Man 3 vibes. He was dancing and shit.
Yes,
and doing
it was very much Spider-Man 3, like
2000.
Oh, it was very much the early 2000s. Like, you know, it is. Oh goodness, it's a movie.
His ass was grooving and moving, and and then he was quick to just. There's a scene. I guess we ain't spoiling it, but he was just quick to just do shit to people that he had ties to.
Yes.
As soon as he was a vampire, he was like,
fuck all of y'all.
Right.
Yo,
fuck y'all.
Right.
And I think it was back to that scene about the people in the alley. Like he remember he was just like, man, fuck all of y'all. He was mad. He was over it. And now he got powers and he's like, I don't give a fuck about none of y'all motherfuckers. I'm up
Michael.
Here.
But I'm gonna tell you, I want us to go and be homies and do whatever we want.
Right.
But I'm gonna kill you 5 seconds later.
Right, but I think that's just because he didn't want to be by himself. Like, so when
you think when you cut him in the stomach, he was
right?
You right, man.
Right. Let's go get some bitches.
You think he can't? You think you killing his girl? He just gonna turn around like, you know what? Let's go run the world.
I thought he was just gonna like crush her hand, like you know how they do in movies. Like, I'm gonna crush your hand. This bitch dead. Damn,
he didn't care, man. He didn't care about nobody and nothing.
It was.
They didn't write. They didn't.
We could also talk about how they probably. I would say all of us. The only character that had a bright spot was
Tyrese.
No, no. His assistant.
It ain't his fucking.
His assistant. The other detective.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
He was the only one that just had like, all right, that made the movie fun.
Yeah.
When they were interrogating Michael, I think you had stepped out.
Yeah.
And he brought a vial of holy water.
Holy water.
Oh my God, I missed that.
And he put it in front of me. He said, "Don't worry about it. It's thrice blessed." What?
What is happening?
Tyrese is up here like bullshit.
And like, here's the thing. Like when they were at the bar and he went to go get the security footage and he told Tyrese's character, "I don't want you to move or nothing." I laughed because during that whole movie, when he walked into a scene and he got to a point to where he stopped, he didn't move no further.
Again.
He didn't move. He didn't move
He was
no
planning.
further.
Like I said, what was he thinking about?
Tyrese didn't have. It was his after one scene and no backstory on him except for the synthetic blood that Michael Morbius created. Helped save his hand, and you see his hand got a little apparatus.
But he had a scar on his neck.
Yeah.
What was that for?
You don't know. We don't know. After one scene, he had enough. It was his city. His ass stepped on a crime scene, didn't do shit. The next scene, not in my city.
Right? And it's not like they were like, "Oh, so we killing cops now?"
Yeah.
What?
Wait, so I have a question because we all know that I have what phobia?
The memory of a goldfish.
No. The phobia of the open sea.
The phobia of the deep ocean.
Yeah.
Thalassophobia.
That's it. So here's my thing. So when he dove off the boat, making you a vampire makes you like you don't.
Cause here's another thing. Here's another thing.
Water. He just jumped in there too. Yeah. He didn't know he could swim.
After the experiment where he got his shit, he killed the people on the boat. He called in a distress signal.
Right.
In the middle of the international waters.
Mm-hmm.
Jumped off into the ocean in the nighttime. and somehow made it back to New York.
My worst nightmare.
He swam. Look, he fucking swam the whole way.
I mean,
I don't know. Let's get another thing. How did he? How did he?
He's not even using that game.
He didn't. How did he know which direction to go?
He's like, Morbius was too accurate. I'm done.
Right.
I'm done with this
He
game.
was like, Matt Smith didn't need a cane either. All right, fuck it. I'm sorry.
Oh.
But like, how did he know? Like, he didn't know his echolocation stuff then.
No, and I'm sure that didn't work underwater. Right. I'm sure that echolocation didn't work underwater. He was like, let me hear under the ocean. No.
And now his nostrils are like this, so that the water is like
his face.
Man.
And then the other thing, like when he jumps, so he's on the run. Automatically, his ass is wanted. They don't know who did what, but they're looking for him.
Right.
He's like this. One scene, he's like,
look, it was the Superman effect. The hoodie this boy had gave this man the Superman glasses.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a song. But then the next scene, he in a crowded room.
It was hot.
Right?
Walking around. Nobody got
hot.
Gone for like 2 months. He's just walking around his job like.
First of all,
visiting kids.
Nobody who worked with him saw him in the hall like, is he walking?
Right.
That was another thing. You worked with this man for years, as he stated, with the nurse who ended up getting got.
Well.
And y'all just see him in a crowded after they find her dead in a crowded hallway, patients and all this shit. He walking normal. Meanwhile, up until that point, he had
3 days ago he was at that awards and he had to get his strider leg going to get up there and get the award.
Crazy, man. And he fell asleep too. He fell asleep for like 5-6 hours.
Yeah,
right.
Nobody checked on that little girl.
Right.
Nope.
He's like, oh,
right.
She was the alarm went off. He's like,
right.
Time to eat.
He's like, oh, good morning.
Or a nurse just came by like, oh, the doctor's in there.
Right. He didn't have a blanket on his legs and nothing no more. He didn't have the
nurses coming in every couple hours. The shift change.
So you in the hospital? They coming in like, how you doing?
He just chilling.
I'm like, okay. Where did he live?
in that hospital building. That's where he lived with the bats.
Because we know Matt Smith's house. We know
old girl's house.
Yeah.
When they bust in old girl's house, I was like, oh, is that his house?
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, well, no.
He don't live nowhere.
And then they saw the kitty litter, and I'm like, oh,
that was not enough kitty litter.
Yeah, he's shaking it.
It was like
shaking the kitty litter.
Right, like that was like 4 cups in that one little box.
That cat shit on the floor. That kitty litter was no good. Yeah, it had a lot of
This movie had more holes than the Shia LaBeouf movie. Like
it did. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't exciting. It's just if you look at it for real, you go, and the fact that their father person didn't age in 25 years.
That was another thing.
He was already a senior.
These boys were like 11, 12. 30 years later, this man looked the same.
Right. He was probably a good 50.
And like I was expecting when he was realizing he was putting 2 to 2 together that there was vampires in New York, he was gonna come out and be like, I am one of them.
Right.
And I'm
the
like,
first.
What?
Nope.
No.
He did not
like I was
on.
like, that would have been a good plot
twist.
Like it would have been like, I am one of you, and they could have just tied that in the Blade, Dracula, and all this other shit.
And y'all could have just went and killed some bitches.
That remind me. I don't know what he was, but wait, that reminds me of something else. They did all this vampire shit, and nobody was surprised.
No.
And they didn't explain that.
Nope.
They put him in regular jail.
Yep. Right. They was like, all right.
They put him in regular
You're not gonna eat no guards.
They had him in an orange jumpsuit.
Right. And he just out the window.
He flying.
Y'all didn't even try.
They busting shots in the hospital.
Yeah, see, this is the issue when you don't know what you're doing. And this is why Kevin Feige in the MCU is so goated. Like, when Venom happened in this universe, that should have set the world off. Like, it should have set the world off. In the MCU, what happened? 2 villains come? Oh, we got a secret prison out in the middle of the ocean where we gonna bury y'all under ocean.
Yeah.
all like, kinds of shit. No, they put this fool in regular handcuffs.
In Harris County.
In the local jail.
Right.
The local jail.
For the people that sell weed. Like, what's happening right now? Y'all didn't even try. And
shut your vampire ass up, Morbius.
Right?
Sleep.
But it didn't seem, and maybe it's just me, but it didn't seem so crazy when he escaped.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like
that was a normal thing.
Oh, the FBI. Right. Nope.
Like, they seen this before.
Like, here's the thing. He punched the wall. And that set off alarms. I don't know how buildings work, but I know there's no electronics in concrete to where that an alarm would set off.
Right.
So,
and if it's tied to like venom, and that's why they know, I feel like they should make us aware. But he was just doing off the wall shit. Yeah. Nobody was like,
right.
Nobody was.
His boy saw him with the vampire face, and he was like, "Get out." He's like, "What? No, I can't leave you, bro. If I see either one of y'all face, okay, shit, I'm
out.
Hey, look, it's been real." Yeah.
But then I also have a question about the subway scene. So you got two officers initially that are beat up. We're gonna say beat up for fun, not even though that man had whatever in his eye. So then you got more officers. The man who was radioing. He wasn't like, oh, we got a problem. Like, this is an emergency. Like,
we vampires again.
Here's the issue with that. The first two officers rolled up on them, and I'm gonna come back to this part. They weren't alerted to an escaped convict in an orange jumpsuit.
They didn't say we got the suspect.
I guess that's what
we got the suspect. He should have been like, hey, yeah.
Like they weren't told, hey, this might be a superhuman person.
No, they were like, no, it's just Jesus in a jumpsuit. What is that?
Second thing, they were down there. They didn't see these two smoke tussle the whole way down.
The whole way down.
Those people that were like, walking by, like, didn't shit happen? Didn't nobody say something's not right?
Right.
There are smoke. One got purple smoke. Something's wrong.
Because they was like, let that shit happen to us. If I see two people appear out of smoke, I'm like, oh shit, Mortal Kombat happening again. Yeah, go, shit.
You did it. Oh no.
Hold on, there we
go. And we're back.
We're back.
Scoot.
Sorry, Scoot.
Edit that out, Scoot.
Oh my God.
Hold on. All right, there we go.
But like I when back in the day when I was at the club, somebody started fighting right in front of me. I dove over a lot of things just to get out of the way because I didn't want to get hit. So I don't understand how calm everybody is in the subway when smoke people are fighting. What is happening? Are we in the other
They're just like, yeah, man, I got to get to work, man.
Right? Like they were all about minding their business.
I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I'd be trying to get away.
Right? Like show some urgency, some fear.
Nobody in that whole subway was scared.
None.
And whoever was driving the subway train did not see him jump and be like, I'm just gonna glide.
Just glide in front of the damn subway.
And that's another thing. The subway wasn't supposed to stop there. It wasn't at another sub stop.
There wasn't nobody there, so maybe. I don't know how subways work. They was like, you know what? No stops here. I don't know how it works. Okay, but there were a lot of things that were quite questionable when you look at the bigger picture, and the fact that Tyrese was so calm when they looked at Matt Smith's face, like, that's not the doctor.
You're right.
Yeah.
Fuck, aren't you nervous?
Right.
Like, if you
Tyrese had no other emotion except smoldering.
Right, exactly.
That was it.
Like he saw this man jump from the ground floor 80 stories up without taking the stairs, and an officer just busting caps at him.
And he's like,
and somehow he got up those stairs to the roof in like 30 seconds.
Tyrese got powers. I forget his character. His character is from the comics, but I don't remember off the bat if he had power. I don't think he had powers or anything.
But. And then he got up there and he saw him and he was like, that's enough. That's all you got to say?
I'm not going upstairs.
Yeah. And he just gave up. He was like, all right, man.
I'm like this. Y'all go ahead. I quit. I quit. And I'm moving to Texas. Like, no. That's
another thing. You never hear no superhero shit going down in one of these middle states or the South.
Always New York.
California.
The East or West Coast. That's where they are.
We just get blowed up on the movies where there's a spaceship.
The
moon coming, we're done. We're gone. I don't know why we're gone first. That's not fair, but whatever.
Like that's why the cost of living so high.
Exactly.
Your insurance,
Right, any monster can bash your building in at any moment.
Just move, man.
Just crash into the side of your building. That's your window, and now you just got all the elements coming in.
Aliens, vampires, damn Costa Rican bats. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just where the bats coming from. Right? There were so many.
There was so many. And he flew out of them, and they were blanketing the sky.
But here's the thing: weren't they all vampire bats?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's that many vampire bats. We saw vampire bats when we went to the zoo.
We saw vampire bats when we went to the rainforest exhibit down in Galveston.
I could understand like regular bats, like the one that chased me here. That was a regular bat. There were no fruit bats in there, so you discriminated.
All bats.
There wasn't all bats because you didn't see no big old bats. All you saw was tiny little
tiny bats. And if you've never seen a vampire bat, they're about the size of 2 quarters. 2 quarters.
And their faces.
Their faces are quite ugly. But
and I mean, I just don't understand. Were they all eating bugs?
I don't know what's up with the vampire. No. Because remember at the beginning, he said, yeah, the vampire bats here take down prey 20 times their size. And that was a dead cow.
But here's the thing. That was in Costa Rica. Clearly, these vampire bats in New York ain't eating just cows.
No, because they would be feasting on people.
Right.
Day and night.
And then I guess it wouldn't be a surprise if it's like, the vampire bats got the hold to the people again. Like, I don't understand. I was lost. Okay.
They don't explain shit.
Nah.
Nothing.
Nah.
At all.
Nothing.
This man coming out of his
He's hot.
God damn you, Jared Leto.
And here's the thing.
Jacket.
There is so anybody that has been to see a superhero movie in the past 12 or so years or 14 years since 2008 knows to stay during the credits and after. There's 2 post-credit scenes in this movie, which are the dumbest.
I was confused.
Stop the shit, Sony. Stop it.
Right? Like, Sony, you just need to give it up like Fox.
Not
like,
my city.
Like, because, oh my God. Like, we ain't going to get into those.
No.
Because they were just.
They don't make sense.
None.
They don't make any sense.
None.
So they want to be a part of the bigger picture so bad, man.
Especially with the second one, when he met the guy. We'll just say that. And he was about our friend Spider-Man. If you didn't know, Morbius is a Spider-Man anti-hero villain. If this was in New York, where the fuck was Spider-Man?
Right. Which we still don't know.
When he was on the senior trip, remember? This took place then.
But then the previous scene
it don't make
I'm trying.
You're trying. You are trying. And I'm sure everybody who worked on this movie appreciates you trying.
But I will say shout out to Sam Raimi for making it a little bit horror. Like, it had a little bit of horror element to it, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the flickering lights and the everything, so give that to me. Give it to me!
I will say this. That was probably the best scene in the movie, when the nurse was walking down that hallway. And then you see the shadow just dart up, and you see it no longer, and the lights just flicker whenever it was coming.
Jane Doe, like I said, I'm out.
That was probably the best scene.
Yeah, that was well thought out. Now,
but
everything else, beginning scene. If I'm paying you money, and you don't.
So did they leave or did they not leave?
Lady just fell.
Damn! Oh shit! Her water is rolling. Damn! At least he helped her up though.
That's Alabaster Jenny.
That is. She weak because she need to eat.
Right.
Get your water off the ground. Get your water off the ground. Yeah. That's almost full. Damn, she looking at the ground like fucking ground.
Right, like the ground did it.
But no, none of the scenes, the beginning, I know we backtracked. The beginning scene, they paid for a boat.
So did the
with
people
the submarine.
Leave or no?
Who?
The man in the helicopter. Did he leave or did he not leave?
I'm talking about when they remember when he's doing the experiment, the human trials, they on the boat with the guards, and the guard come in talking shit. Why they talking shit if y'all paying them?
I don't know.
Right.
First of all, why they come down here?
Right. And like, I'm gonna need you to go back to the Mummy, sir. I recognized your face.
Oh yeah, that dude.
He was from the first Brendan Fraser movie with the Mummy, and he got it. He's older, but he still got his ass drained twice.
It don't make no sense. Man.
I thought you were talking about the helicopter.
No.
Did he leave or did he not? Like, what were you paying him for? To stay or to leave?
To stay.
And then it was a lot of people that got in that helicopter.
It was.
It didn't seem like it was that many people getting out.
I would have been the first.
How do you get all that shit in the
That's what I'm saying. Like, what helicopter? They did 2 helicopters because when they got out, it was just him and his leg braces. That take up a lot of space.
But here's the thing.
The pilot.
Like when that first beginning scene, and you see the helicopter flying into Costa Rica, you can see it carrying something by a net and a cable. We assume that's the trap, and that everybody else that was there is inside the helicopter. That helicopter ain't big enough to carry all those people.
No, it's not. And it was a weak helicopter, so it wouldn't have been able to carry all of that.
Especially that. Now, once they captured the bats, like they did off screen, did they just sling these bats about in this tube cage?
Got to, I guess.
Like these bats are just like, what the fuck is happening?
But my thing is, okay, let's have some regular sense here. So if my helicopter is carrying something like this, you're gonna have to place that down.
Right.
And then you're gonna have to land. Where did they place that down?
Because that area was not down from ropes, and then they lowered it down. You know what I'm saying? It was a joint effort.
It was a joint effort.
Yeah.
They were just hanging on the side of the helicopter.
All right, y'all drop down, and we're gonna lower the.
Because it wasn't no room in the back seat for nobody else.
No.
Like,
not no damn extra bats either.
Right. It's like, what? And then it's like, we're gonna go to this specific cave. Okay, well.
Right.
Sure.
And here's the thing. And he said vampire bats, like we know, they're about that small.
They are. And they're nocturnal.
When they pulled up and he was like, these bats capture things 15, 20 times their size. I'm like, what kind of fucking bats did they create for this movie? And then they just said vampire. Like,
what did he eat? Was that a cow?
It was like a cow.
How the hell did a cow get up there?
Like these bats just go like Pikmin and just like 2,000 of them just carried this cow up this cliff.
Do they have tiny legs?
Very tiny feet.
And they were asleep. It was daytime.
That's
just because you open your hand with a tiny cut.
With a tiny cut, and they were like, "Is it dinner?"
And then, but wait, so it was good enough to wake them up, but not good enough to drink.
They didn't. Yeah, that's true.
Right? They didn't go for him.
Nah, they was like, "Oh, he's sick." Yeah, man. It was. Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, why is his blood that color?"
Right. And then they got caught in some imaginary trap because
it like we said, it was a piano string
like
in a metal frame.
I thought it was gonna be like Drew,
right?
Catch them like special, but no, they just flew past.
Paper, you know. They got the wings got stuck in the strings.
And who was feeding the bats while he was coming?
Look, they had that was another thing. That was a question she asked me in the theater. Like, who's feeding these bats and what do they eat?
They just in that tube.
Because they just in that tube flying eternally. There was no any kind of waste on the ground.
Nothing.
He would have slipped in guano when he went in there. And they don't ever get to sleep.
No. Just light on and they just
he would have called me. I wouldn't have came. Fuck you. You imprison my brothers.
Maybe for them rats from the trials, you know what I mean?
But the ground was very clean. And that rat lived.
Right.
But did he become a super rat?
Man, the damn windows and everything.
They left him.
Man, I'm done.
Wait, what happened to the super rat?
That rat.
Where's that rat?
That rat escaped. And he is creating his own colony down in the New York subway tunnels.
Why they always use the albino rat?
They are cheap. They're cheap and they're pure.
A pure
rat.
Why
he no rat powers though? No, like rat vampire.
Right, like
he should have been like.
Oh, that should be like some. What was that movie? Cloudy with a Chest of Meatballs when he combined the rats with the pigeons. That rat should have had wings and super strength.
Right, but all it did was stand up.
Oh, y'all
That's
And he was
it. All
cleaning
right.
himself like
He was cleaning himself.
he
He's
was
like, yeah, I'm all
I'm
right.
woke now. I'm a flatliner officially. Okay, and I guess they threw him away.
They ain't giving no blood or nothing.
Nothing. I guess they threw him away. Why he didn't become and just be like,
Look, we've talked about this movie too long.
We have.
So, like, if
you want a good laugh and you just want, I'm a person, I just want to see the movies in the stream. If I don't like it, I don't have to go back and see it again, but at least I'm aware.
I'm glad I'm an AMC Stubs member because it paid for itself. So
go on Tuesdays if you're gonna go. Buddy.
Yeah. But oh man, this movie was something.
It was.
So
shit.
But Jared Leto's acting was good.
Yeah. Oh,
We love you,
him and Tyrese was neck and neck.
Whatever. We love you, Jared Leto. You will always be Jordan Catalan.
I don't know who that is. Anyway, if you want to go see this movie,
go see it.
Go see
Get
it.
your own opinion.
Get your own opinion
To see the after credit scenes.
And bless you for that.
Comment below if you see it and you have something to say.
Like, yeah, if you enjoyed the movie, please tell us why below.
If you didn't, tell us why anyway.
Exactly. And so we will see y'all next time on Car Chronicles.
And we want to thank this guy.
Yes.
Thanks to our special guest.
Very much so. The vampire rat, the Planet Niko.
Coming to a sewer near you.
Oh no.
In my city.
Him and Master Splinter will do battle in the next TMNT movie. We will see y'all next time. Probably for what? Sonic 2?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yes. So y'all be good. We'll see you soon. Have a good one, everybody.